Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group.
Deep drive the other way. Bryant back at the wall, and this game is over. Randall Grichuk, an opposite field home run, and the Cardinals walk off 4-3.
Randall Grichuk's home run with 2 outs, 2 strikes, bottom of the ninth, gives the Cards a 4-3 win, the series opener over the Cubs last night. Tonight, Northsiders look to snap their season-high 3-game skid. They send Jason Hamill to the bump in the Lou. He'll be opposed by one of the Cards' best, Michael Wacha. First pitch, 6:10 right here on Comcast Sports Now. Hello, welcome in to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by our great corporate partners, the Fields Auto Group. He is Todd Hollandsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Holly, I've been searching Twitter. According to what I've read, the sky has fallen. The Cubs will not only miss out on the postseason, they will not win another game this year. Big changes need to be made pronto. Back up the truck. Would you talk some of the lunatics out in social media off the ledge, please?
You got me scratching my head. Yeah, well, I don't think we need to freak out. You know what? It's a 162-game season for a reason. I played on a World Series winner. I played on some playoff teams, some good teams, some bad teams.
Your World Series winner was 15 under in May, I believe.
That's absolutely right. Matter of fact, we fired a manager. So that goes to show you how this works. This is a 162-game season for a reason. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to have some peaks, and you're going to have some valleys. Thankfully, you know, part of this, and we talked about it a little bit on the postgame show last night, is this continuation from last year into the start of the season. This great start. It played off of what happened last year. And were you expecting them to go, what 125 and, you know, whatever, 35 this year? I mean, come on, people. Listen, this is how it goes. You're going to grind. You're going to find it. David Ross said it best a couple days ago. We're going to find out about ourselves when we've been tested. We're being tested right now on this road trip.
All right, it's almost time to get interactive with the show. Get your mobile, laptop, or tablet ready right now. Head to csnchicago.com/vote. In a few minutes, Holly and I will give you our live fan vote, and we'll vote as well, and you'll see the results right on your screen. First, we go out to St. Louis. That's where we find third member of our team, as always. She is Kelly Kroll with our Coors Light game report. Kelly, yesterday on the pregame show, we heard from Jason Hayward, said he's feeling better. Apparently, there have been no setbacks, correct?
Yeah, how about that? A lot better, right? No setbacks. Jason Hayward is back in the starting lineup. A nice little boost for the Cubs this evening. He went through batting practice yesterday, said afterwards there was still a dull pain, if you will, but of course he's going to know he ran into a wall just a few days ago, but he is ready to go, has passed all the other tests, and said he does not want to miss another series. It was very difficult for him to miss the rest of the games in San Francisco and against his former Cardinal team. You know he's up for this one.
I went through every test yesterday and passed it fine. I mean, I'm not going to do myself any worse. I mean, if I make a play or something and dive, whatever, am I going to feel it? Yeah, but we'll be fine.
I was just going to say, is there any easing into today, or is it just when you're ready, you're ready?
No, go play. Okay. Go play. I mean, that's what I want to be able to do, is get out there, go play, and help and do everything I can on the field and not worry about it.
He gets on base a lot, and he plays great defense, and then it permits Sober sit behind Rizzo. So all those things matter. That's the butterfly effect. You know, when they flutter their wings, something else occurs that's not noticeable to the naked eye. So
It happens in Russia, right?
It happens in Russia. It happens in 11/22/63. So there's all these different moments that occur that we don't really recognize because we only see the obvious. And so for me, he's not hitting 300, so obviously people think that he's not playing well, which is so far from the truth.
Yeah, beyond his bat, Hayward means a lot to this lineup. He'll be back in right. Chris Bryant at third, Jorge Soler in left. Madden praising the defense he's seen from KB at the hot corner of late. Of course, Javier Baez has also been taking care of business all over the field when he's been out there. We've seen the incredible hot streak. Ben Zobrist is on, hitting .338 coming into this one tonight. And of course, the way Madden can move all of those guys around just continues to talk about how invaluable that is for him.
It really lengthens your roster, there's no doubt. It permits movement within the course of the game. Like, I'm looking at my card every night and just thinking about how to improve the defense at the end of the game, and then you look at the guy you want to get in the game, then you look at 3 guys you can move around and still feel good about it. It's unusual, very unusual. But I also believe too many times in the minor leagues, groups shy away from doing things like that, which I think is wrong. I think you should encourage multiple positions in the minor leagues, because if the guy's bat becomes ready and there's not a need at that position that he plays, why would you not want to put him somewhere else just to get that bat there if in fact you're deficient somewhere? So that's why I think it's wise to give guys training in multiple positions in case the bat comes quickly.
And just to keep this three-game slide, if you will, in perspective, last night, John Lackey, after the game, guys, I thought he said it best. Worry is kind of a strong word. Do we need to play better? 100%. And Ben Zobrist said, you know, this is why we talked about at the beginning of the year, just keeping things, minimalizing these kinds of stretches. And, of course, just getting back to the grind this evening. They're having a nice little parade here in St. Louis before the game, hence the sirens, guys. But we're going to send it back to you and see if the Cubs can even up this series tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly, and we'll have game reports from Kelly during the game and after the game. All right, time for our Cubs fan poll. To vote, visit csnchicago.com/vote. You do not need a special app. Just visit that website and get interactive with Holly and with me. Today's question is, what will be the longest losing streak by the Chicago Cubs this season? Your choices are 3, 4, or 5 or more games. Holly, losing streak's going to happen. Joe has continued to say he's happy with how the team's approaching the games, and by doing that, wins will come. So how would you vote?
I think that I'm probably in that realm of 4. I mean, that seems realistic. Sometimes things don't go your way, and you just kind of witness this. Cappy, I mean, I told you this morning that you woke up from a coma and the Cubs were 29-15. You wouldn't even think anything about it. Or, I mean, this is...
You'd be like, yes.
Yes. I mean, everything's going right. I mean, it's just understanding how the story's being told. And again, it's not an easy story to tell. As far as losing streaks are concerned, I guess the way I look at it is this. You got a couple aces at the top of your rotation. Really, you got a lot of guys in this rotation pitching like aces right now. And it should certainly give respect to everybody who's done a fantastic job already. The pitching has been great, best in baseball. And the ability to stop it. I mean, right now, it's just really, for me, just kind of coming down to the offense isn't clicking. So pitching continues to give the team, the offense, the defense opportunities to win baseball games. It's going to happen. But you're also going to run into some buzzsaws. Remember, everybody, Cubs are playing with a bullseye on their back. I said it going back to last year. We talked about it in August and September. And if you think that start did not wake everybody up around the National League, you're kidding yourself. What about that little reaction right there from Matt Adams? You think he didn't feel how big that home run was last night?
Yeah, I talked to their play-by-play man, Dan McLaughlin, today, and he said they felt they had to win last night.
Right.
He said, we looked at that game down in St. Louis. That was a must-win baseball game.
Well, it's an important series. It's how they play is really, and you're hearing Joe say it from the other side right now because the team hasn't been rolling out wins, but it's how we're playing. We're hitting, they're making defensive plays. I go back to that game in San Francisco, the 1-0 loss to Madison Bumgarner on Sunday. Look at the great defensive plays from Denard Span in center field to Brandon Crawford as shortstop to Posey behind the plate, oh, by the way, who was catching on Sunday night. I mean, it's like you get the sense that everybody is trying to put their best out there to go up against the Cubs right now.
All right, I'm voting 4. That's how I'm going to go. 4.
You and me both.
Did, and the fans, they go 4 as well. 48% of you. All right, with the season over a quarter of the way done, let's take a look at how the Cubs stack up statistically this year as opposed to last year. 43 games, they have 29 wins this year as opposed to 24 last year. Despite all the offensive struggles the team has gone through over the last week or so, their average is 13 points higher than it was last season. Strikeouts are way down. Walks are way up. Opponents are hitting 45 points lower off Cubs pitching than through 43 games last year. So, Holly, all hope isn't lost.
Why would it be? We have the best starting pitching in baseball right now in the National League. I mean, that's what stands out. You see the opponent batting average against was 200. I mean, sure, we can talk about the offense, we can talk about the walks and the strikeouts, and we will. But remember, the youth on this team is on the field every day. These guys are growing up at the big league level. I know that we feel like Chris Bryant's been around for 4 years, but he hasn't. I know that we feel like Addison Russell's been doing this for a long time, but he hasn't. You have to remember the learning curve. Part of this is growing up at the major league level. You don't really settle in and call yourself one of those guys that's been around the block a few times until you played 4 or 5 years at the major league level and played every day. We got a couple guys like that, obviously, starting, but not a lot. Remember how young these guys are. So the peaks and the valleys are going to come. We've talked about them offensively. They're going to get out of this. We're going to watch them rip the cover off the baseball again. There's no reason to panic right now.
All right, let's go back to last night. How much does a walk-off loss affect the losing club in the following game? I know how it affects the Cub fans in our newsroom. How did it affect you as a player and your teams?
Well, it didn't bother me too much, Cappy. I mean, sometimes it's circumstance. You know, usually players break things down is what leads us to that moment. You know, and you look at Grichuk, he obviously comes up with the walk-off right there. And I'm not talking about the pitches that lead into the at-bat. I'm talking about the moments that were missed earlier in the ballgame, whether we're talking about runners in scoring position, chances to score a few more runs. We always look at the end game and say, okay, well, we got walked off, and this is a bad thing, and I got a bad taste in my mouth and a bad feeling. But there's always circumstances that lead you to that moment. And baseball players learn to kind of gravitate to the story. You don't harp or hang on to the bad. You try to find out what you can improve. And certainly you're looking to improve things like runners in scoring position earlier in this ball game. Maybe you wouldn't have found yourself in that situation.
All right, time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. And today, we're looking at the Cardinals pinch hitters this season. In 45 games, Redbirds have 27 pinch hits. That's the most in the majors. 8 more than the second-place club, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their 9 pinch hit homers are 3 more than the Washington Nationals, while their 23 pinch hit RBI far and away tops in baseball. Milwaukee is second with just 11. Comcast Business, Built for Business. Cubs fans got an up-close look last night when Matt Adams took John Lackey up and out.
Well, it's interesting. You know, Matt Adams has really been swinging the bat well, even leading into this ball game. Of course, he didn't get the start last night. Brandon Moss did. But again, I knew he was a hot hitter. Got a mistake, got a cookie up over the plate, and that's what you do as a pinch hitter, keep yourself ready and ready to perform. Interestingly enough, you look at the story of this Cardinals team, how offensive they've been this year, how their pitching has struggled, and then you look at the pitch hitting, it just gives me that feeling of racing to the bench to get guys in there to give them opportunities to pinch hit. But what you're seeing right now with the St. Louis Cardinals is the fact that defensively they're not as good as they've been in years past. They have flexibility on this roster and a lot of athleticism, so what you see throughout the game, guys are kind of what Joe Madden does, in and out of the ball game.
All right, one other play from last night that could have changed things. Top of the ninth, men on the corners, one out. Anthony Rizzo with a soft liner to third. Matt Carpenter makes the sliding catch and doubles Dexter Fowler off third to end the inning. Holly, there really wasn't anything Fowler could have done here if he's going to read it that way.
Right.
My thought was, you cannot come off that base until you know that ball's going to drop.
Well, part of it is where Carpenter was playing on this and the way that the ball is hit. I told you right after the play happened, the most difficult part of this play is that how many times have you seen Anthony Rizzo hit a soft humpback liner to the third base, literally the third base line 90 feet away with nothing on it. I mean, he got jammed on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and it kind of explains kind of what's going on with this team. I was telling you about 110% or 115%. Most managers like their guys to go 85 to 100% most of the time. Maybe they're, running into a wall or whatever, but that's it. And right now, this team is out there trying to make things happen. Dexter Fowler made a mistake on the base paths. There's no doubt about it, but there's no reason to throw him under the bus for a mistake that happened. He had a one-step lead, which is the perfect lead, what you want to do. He had momentum going towards home. Because of the way the baseball was hit, his anticipation was that ball was down. He made the mistake. He certainly doesn't want to do it again, but ultimately it happens. That's exactly right. And again, if we're going to micromanage this team this way, you're going to find yourself pretty frustrated when we get to the end of this run.
All right, let's look at the Cubs lineup brought to you by Wrigleyville Sports. As Kelly told us earlier, Jason Hayward back in right, batting second. Bryant Rizzo Zobrist batting 3, 4, 5. Soler starts again in left. Addison Russell at short. Grandpa Rossi behind the plate. Jason Hamill is on the mound. Yesterday, we talked about Anthony Rizzo's struggles at the plate. Good to see him driving a run going the other way against the shift.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there. Even though he broke his bat, it was all about the approach. Nice to see, and that's just really what it needs to get down to for Anthony Rizzo. He's expanded his strike zone. The more I've watched him, sure, he's made some mechanical adjustments. Maybe he's kind of tweaking his swing. You see him doing different things, choking up, closing up. Anthony searches sometimes. He's a searcher. He'll try to find that stroke. I certainly understand it, did it myself an awful lot, but in this situation, to me, really what it gets back to is swinging at your pitch, and I think that's what Anthony's going to work on tonight, and why not? He's got great numbers against Michael Wacha, so at least going into this ball game tonight, he's going to have good feelings from the past. Couple homers against him, 10 for 22 tells you that he sees the ball out of Wacha's hand very, very well. He should be confident going into this one, but again, it can't be that classic over-trying, expecting results. He still has to make Wacha throw him his pitch.
Meanwhile, Ben Zobrist 3 more hits last night. He has a 10-game hit streak going on, over which he's batting .421. He's reached base safely in his last 29 starts going back to April 18. That's ridiculous.
I laugh because, the question isn't, how is Ben Zobrist getting hits? The question is, how do you get him out right now? Because I don't think you can. They're trying everything. I mean, we saw it all last night. We saw cutters in on his hand. He had 3 base hits, directionally speaking, 1 to left, 1 to center, 1 to right. I mean, he is just on his game right now. It is so much fun to watch. What a professional hitter, having a great run and a great start to his season. And interestingly enough, I mean, this has been, he's been the offensive guy for us, and we got to get something going on around him because he's just been so consistent and so clutch so far.
All right, here's the Cardinals lineup. They're going to start Carpenter at third. Diaz will be at short. Holiday in left. Piscotty in right. Adams is at first. Molina's catching. Grichuk in center. Colton Wong is at second. And Michael Wacha is your starting pitcher. Molina batting .306 this year. Career .311 hitter against the Chicago Cubs, and he is a clutch player.
Well, let me talk to you about that 5, 6, 7 spot in the lineup that includes Yadier Molina. These are numbers. Now, listen, I know that Mike Matheny, manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, is doing this on purpose, so watch closely tonight. Hot hitters against Jason Hamill. Yadier Molina, Matt Adams, and Randall Grichuk. Both had homers last night. Adams 4 for 9 against him. Grichuk 3 for 8 with a home run. Yadi, oh, by the way, 7 for 15 in his career against Jason Hamill. So there's some guys right there. That little stretch of that lineup was strategically put together by Mike Matheny, thinking these are 3 guys that I've got in my lineup that have had good success against Hamill. So watch that spot, see if Hamill's on his game.
One question for you. I was interviewing Anthony Rizzo on the radio today.
Okay.
And the Draymond Green kick in the NBA came up, and I said, well, at least you don't have to worry about that because you guys wear cups. And he goes, never wore a cup ever in Major League Baseball. He said, I know a lot of guys who don't. When you played, did you wear one?
Nope.
That's stunning to me.
Well, there's 2 ways.
I wear one when I watch a game.
There's 2 ways of looking at it. One is you're at the Major League level. You should be wearing a cup. You're always wearing a cup. Now, my kids, my sons, all of them, we play baseball, travel ball. They all wear the cups. They have to. Dad tells them to. And I did until I could. But if you can't, I kind of thought about it this way. If I can't field my position by the time I get to the Major League level, and that I need to wear a cup, I got to be kidding myself. I shouldn't be there. I mean, those things are about as uncomfortable as they get, man. So, I mean, that's your answer right there.
Shocking. All right.
He surprises me, though. I mean, he's playing first base.
Yeah,
now, when
you get a rocket down there.
I mean, the few times I was at first base, I did wear a cup. When I was in the outfield, I didn't worry about it.
We have to take our first time out on Cubs pregame live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. We come back. We'll look at the pitching matchup for tonight's contest. Jason Hamill hit a little bump in the road last time out up in Milwaukee. We're looking to get himself and his Cubs back in the win column tonight when he takes the mound at Busch Stadium.
Cubs pregame live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
They treat you like you're their best friend or your family. It's almost like they can't do enough for you.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
I get a personal treatment here, and I recommend it.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I'm looking for the best price, and Fields gives you that. That's why we've bought so many cars from them.
Fields matters because you matter.
FieldsAuto.com.
Let's get this thing started.
Chicago's Country Music Festival returns to the lakefront. Windy City Lake Shake, starring Jason Aldean, Tim McGraw, Lady Antebellum, plus Brooks and Dunn, Sam Hunt, and many more. Windy City Lake Shake. 3 days of country music, June 17th, 18th, and 19th. Single-day passes and 3-day passes are on sale now at LakeshakeFestival.com.
Pizza is perfect. Pizza with bacon cheeseburger on it, way, way more perfect.
Papa's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza is back. And try our new Mushroom Swiss Burger Pizza. Just $10 each for a large.
PapaJohns.com.
We built this thingy. We built this thingy on tech that's old. We built this thingy. But we built.
Yeah, Xfinity built this newer thingy that lets me search with my voice.
We're good. Don't fall for DirecTV. Find shows faster with the X1 voice remote, only from Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
What famous American has covered more territory than any other? Hint, it's not a person. One drive and you'll discover why Jeep is the most awarded best-selling SUV brand. Celebrate 75 years of endless adventure today at the Jeep Memorial Day sales event and get $500 bonus cash on 2016 Jeep Cherokee vehicles. Get 0% APR for 75 months or $2,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash on 2016 Cherokee models.
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
Cardinal fan in a cop car. Too many jokes and not enough time. Wow. Cards tonight against our Cubs here on Comcast Sports Net. All right, welcome back to Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. He is Todd Hollingsworth, 96 National League Rookie of the Year. I'm David Kaplan. Let's take a look at today's pitching matchup brought to you by Bona, the original Italian beef. Jason Hamill gets a start for Joe Maddon's Northside 9. He'll be opposed by Michael Wacha, 2-4 with an ERA. A little bloated for him, a 4.03. Hamill going for his 6th win of the season, an ERA sparkling 2.31, coming off his first loss of the season last Thursday up in Milwaukee when he gave up 4 runs in 6 innings of work.
Well, yeah, he did, but that's not what we're going to cling to. We're going to cling to that start he had in April against the St. Louis Cardinals. Solid 6 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, no walks, 6 Ks, and he's been outstanding this year. Really, the key is going to be his fastball command. We talk about it all the time, but do think back to his last start. 2 home runs that were hit against him, and remember, he'd only given up 1 on the season. Into this game right here, we're on his secondary pitches. So let's keep an eye on that, make sure that slider's down in the zone and see how it goes tonight. His fastball command. We always talk about with the St. Louis Cardinals, a veteran team, they like to look out over the plate. They like to drive the ball the other way. We saw it last night with Grichuk. They've got power the other way, but you've got to keep them on their toes. You cannot just commit to one side of the plate. Hamill's been good about that this year. So watch that fastball command and keep an eye on that curveball and slider. They're big pitches for him, always dials up a lot of strikeouts. But even into last night's ball game for John Lackey, hung a slider. So don't want to be doing that against this Cardinal team.
All right, as for Wacha, he is making his 9th career start against the Cubs. Lifetime 3-3 with an ERA of 4.86 against the Northsiders, though all 3 of those wins have come at Busch Stadium. He's lasted at least 6 innings in 5 of his last 7 outings against the Cubs.
Yeah, that's better, Nelly. I was looking at those highlights. I wasn't liking those highlights so much. Let's put the good highlights of Wacha and his 4.86 career ERA against against the Cubs. That's what you need to know. He's struggled against the Cubs. In fact, he's given up a few long balls. More home runs have been hit by Cubs hitters by any other team against Michael Wacha. So he has had his struggles against this team. And again, you factor in what's going on with the offense, how they've struggled a little bit kind of coming in this one. It could be a favorable matchup.
All right, we have to take one more time out of Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. We return. We'll each pick our key performers, plus Holly will give us his award-winning keys to the game. Cubs look to break a 3-game losing streak this evening. Hometown call coming your way only here in Comcast Sports Net.
They treat you like you're their best friend or your family. It's almost like they can't do enough for you.
I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
I get a personal treatment here, and I recommend it.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
And now, during Drive and Discover, lease a new 2016 Jeep Patriot Latitude 4x2 for only $159 per month for 36 months at Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
Pizza is perfect. Pizza with bacon cheeseburger on it, way, way more perfect.
Papa's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza is back. And try our new Mushroom Swiss Burger Pizza. Just $10 each for a large.
PapaJohns.com.
Any questions?
Yo, elbow patches. Why you gotta complicate things? Uncle Richie's math is simple. Dodge Durango RT has heavy V8 power, generating 360 horses for the driver, 2 Blu-ray screens for the kids. And Dodge Journey's 8.4-inch touchscreen, biggest in its class.
Give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Class dismissed. Get you some of that.
Get $3,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash or 0% APR for 60 months on the 2016 Dodge Grand Caravan.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
What famous American has covered more territory than any other? Hint, it's not a person. One drive and you'll discover why Jeep is the most awarded best-selling SUV brand. Celebrate 75 years of endless adventure today at the Jeep Memorial Day sales event and get $500 bonus cash on 2016 Jeep Cherokee vehicles. Get 0% APR for 75 months or $2,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash on 2016 Cherokee models.
Ride by Yamaha, the innovative dual-throttle handlebar control system that creates a fun, intuitive driving experience unlike anything else on the water. Ride is easy to use, delivering enhanced handling, smooth deceleration, and easy docking in tight spaces. There's only one way to ride, and it's only available on Yamaha Wave Runners. Yamaha, the #1 brand on the water. See your Yamaha Wave Runner dealer for great financing offers and additional incentives.
You're watching Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto Group. Now back to Cap and Holly.
Thank you, KB. Time for our Fields Auto Group keys to tonight's game.
All right,
Conley?
let's make this a victory. Big inning, that's what we're looking for. Now listen, Michael Wacha has had his struggles coming into this start. First one against the Cubs this year. In the last 3 starts, Michael Wacha has had crooked numbers, as I like to say. That's what we call it in baseball. The 2, the 3, the 4 when you see big innings. 5 different times. It's actually how he has fallen apart in some of these starts. So he's had his struggles leading into this one. I think it's a real good matchup for the Cubs. Here's why. We're leading into key number 2. So we're looking for big innings. Key number 2 is going to be long balling. As I just mentioned, 8 home runs for Cub hitters against Michael Wacha in 46 innings this year. That is a big number. Look for that long ball. Let's see if we can't find it. And, oh, by the way, the lineup configuration tonight is really, at least in my opinion, based on what we know against Wacha. Rizzo's gone deep twice. Bryant's already taken him deep. Soler's got a home run against him. So you've got guys with some history and some long balls against Wacha. I think that might be a real good spot to find some offense, because that's really what we need to get rolling here. The pitching's just been so outstanding. The third key is going to be the little things. Well, playing off John Lackey last night, it certainly kind of brought my attention. I'd been thinking about it, and it was interesting to hear him after the game last night talk about it. We've just seen some, I'm not going to call it laziness, just some mistakes. However you choose to look at the Dexter Fowler play at the end of the game right there at third base, this error right here with Yadi Molina running. I mean, there's different things that are kind of happening. When you're playing close ball games, the little things determine victory. That's the bottom line. John Lackey understood that. He mentioned it last night. He's certainly worth mentioning now. If you're going to win this ball game tonight, and if this ultimately is a close ball game, the Cubs are going to have to be better at doing those little things, running the bases just a little bit better, cleaning up the defense, not making mistakes with pitches up in the zone, off-speed pitches, keeping that ball down. So hopefully we'll get ourselves a better result.
All right, time to pick our key performers. Nobody won yesterday. You get to go first again.
I got a really strong feeling about David Ross. I think first time up, he's going deep. I'm going to go David Ross.
All right, I'm going to go Ben Zobrist. I need a win. I'm going with the Cubs' hottest hitter. Thank you for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Holly and I will see you after Len and JD's broadcast for our postgame show. All right, he's headed off to jail.
Oh, looks like we missed most of the show.
Yeah, and there's no way to restart it.
With DirecTV, there is.
You see, we got the power to turn back time, so let's restart the show that started at 9. And while we're at it, let's give you back your due and give her back the guy she liked before you. Hey, that's the power to turn back time.
Get the ultimate all-included bundle. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this. The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. I could get used to this. Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES 350 for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
We are the Coors Brewing Company.
And our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Throughout history, there are those who evolved to control energy, teleport, and even fly. Still others evolved so much, they don't even need to wear pants. With Hanes X-Temp technology, you'll stay cool under pressure, even when saving the world from apocalypse.
Wait, what now?
Hanes X-Temp technology. Because when you're cool, you're comfortable. X-Men Apocalypse in theaters May 27th.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. From Busch Stadium in St. Louis, overcast but warm and muggy here in St. Louis. Cubs and Cardinals, game 2 of a 3-game series. Welcome to Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs struggling. They've dropped 8 of their last 12, not scoring runs at the pace they started this season at.
Yeah, that's been the issue. The pitching has been really good. The bullpen has been rock solid. A little bobble last night by Adam Warren, but overall the pitching has been very, very good. So a lot of low-run games lately. Offense is just scuffled as you see the breakdown for the big chunk of the season and what has happened most recently.
Jason Hayward with that injury on Friday, making a great catch in the first inning at San Francisco. It looked awful. We worried he was going to be out a long time. He ends up missing a total of 3 games. He is back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I think he pressed the issue. I think he talked Joe Madden into being back into the lineup because I think Joe's plan was not to use him until the weekend set with the Phillies.
All right, so he will be in there against his former team. And the starting pitchers tonight, it's Jason Hamill for the Cubs. Michael Wacha will go for the Cardinals.
Second start this year for Jason against the Cardinals back on April 19th here. He was really good, worked 6 innings, allowed 1 run in a 2-1 win. And oh, by the way, he drove in both of the runs in that win.
And for Michael Wacha, he's trying to follow up a good start by Adam Wainwright last night.
And Wacha, an all-star last year, won 17 games last season. He's just 2-4 this year. He has struggled. He has not made it out of the has not made it beyond 4 innings in his last 2 starts.
Cubs have the biggest lead in all of baseball, 5 games over the second-place Pirates. The Cardinals are 6 back. Game 5 of this season series and Game 2 of this set coming up next.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
The end. Thank you, Grace, for your summer vacation report on the Dells. Michael.
This year, my family didn't want to fight the crowds, so we went to Blue Harbor Resort. There was a huge indoor water park and an awesome pool, but there was this other thing called the beach. I went swimming and entered a sandcastle contest. Dad took us sailing on this cool boat. We even had a bonfire. This is the best vacation ever.
Start a new family tradition at Blue Harbor Resort, right on Lake Michigan in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Drive and discover during 1 week to Jeep at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $279 a month. Both with 0 due. Or save $7,000 on this new Grand Cherokee. Find it at Feeney. FeeneyAutos.com.
The simple truth is, sometimes life isn't just. Someone crosses over the line, the best laid plans fail, or the sky falls, and lives are changed forever, and people suffer. And when that happens, you might find a system that is not just. That's the reason I began my career, Because even when life isn't just, there can be justice, and everyone deserves justice.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan, back in our downtown Chicago studios. Get you back to St. Louis for first pitch, couple minutes. Anthony Rizzo went 1 for 5 at the plate in last night's loss, now batting .239 on the season. However, manager Joe Maddon has no doubt his first baseman will turn things around soon.
It happens every season to a lot of good. If you poke your head around all the other good teams in baseball right now, you're going to have a guy on that team that's really struggling somewhat, that's very good. It just happens to be his time to struggle this year. We'll get through it. He'll get through it. He's going to come out on the other side with a vengeance. There's not a doubt in my mind. I love the fact that, look, he's still out there smiling. He's a kid playing this game, and I love that. He enjoys the day. And believe me, he's going to put up huge numbers by the end of the season.
Cubs and Cardinals wrap up their series tomorrow afternoon in St. Louis. It'll be Jake Arrieta taking on Carlos Martinez, who enters the game with a record of 4-4 and an ERA of .356. Meanwhile, Arrieta leads the big leagues, an ERA at 1.29, looking to improve his record to 9-0. He last pitched Friday in San Francisco, allowing 1 run, 4 hits, 7 innings of work, punching out 8 along the way. Bears have begun organized team activities up at Hallis Hall, but Alshon Jeffrey is not taking part. Wide receiver continues his own workout program in Miami. Jeffrey's agent said the restricted free agent is not in a contract dispute, adding his client will join his team for mandatory activities. The NFL has announced sites for 3 more Super Bowls in 2019. The big game goes to Atlanta. South Florida will be the host for Super Bowl 54 in 2020. While L.A. gets the game in 2021. It'll be the first time the Super Bowl will be held in Los Angeles since January of 1993. All 3 sites are currently building new stadiums. And the University of Illinois announced today they have dismissed guard Kendrick Nunn. Last week, Nunn pleaded guilty to a battery charge stemming from his arrest back in March. The guard averaged 15.5 points, 5 rebounds for the Illini last season. He's one of 3 Illini players who've been arrested since the season ended. All right, that is going to put a ribbon on it from our downtown Chicago studios. Be sure to stick around after the final out. Todd Hollandsworth joins me for the postgame show. Cubs and Cardinals next here on CSN. See you on the other side.
We wanted to prove the value of Nissan's Intelligent Safety Shield technologies.
Hey, you want to go for a ride?
So we enlisted some everyday experts.
I'm a firefighter. I'm a nurse.
With rear cross traffic alert. It worked. Blind spot warning. And forward emergency braking that could stop your car for you. Get to Nissan's Safety Today event and save for a limited time with a $189 per month lease on the 2016 Nissan Altima or the 2016 Nissan Rogue.
We might be out of a job.
Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today.
I solemnly swear that my KFC $20 fill-up will fill your family of 4 up with 8 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken and sides. It's a meal that's freshly prepared every day. Court adjourned. Colonel quality guaranteed.
Nobody should go to bed hungry.
That's where our friends at Binny's Beverage Depot are going to bat for the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Every time the Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Binny's donates $100 to help feed hungry families in Chicagoland.
That calls for a toast.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to buy a new gym bag. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before he got 3% back on gas. Kenny used his Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card to join the Wednesday Night League. Because he loves to play hoops, not jump through them. That's the excitement of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
And the #1 window and door company in America is...
Feldco.
To celebrate this amazing achievement, Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
On behalf of the entire Feldco team, thank you. And remember, 2 windows for the price of 1 ends Monday. So hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler gets a hit in his first at bat, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository. And welcome back to St. Louis. Cubs and the Cardinals game 2. And a first, long-time Cubs strength and conditioning coach, Tim Buss, the Newton, Iowa Hall of Famer, did something tonight he had never done before, and that is exchange the lineup card. So he presented it to the umpires. Derek May, Cardinals assistant hitting coach, with the honors for the home team. Pretty cool. It was Jason Hayward last night and Bussy tonight. So if the Cubs win, he'll do it
be
tomorrow.
out there tomorrow as well.
Let's get the rest of the Cubs Southwest starting lineup following Dexter Fowler. And yes, Jason Hayward is back in there after missing 3 games with the side contusion. Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist 3 through 5. Zobrist leads the majors in on-base average. Jorge Soler is in left. Addison Russell at short. David Ross, the catcher. And pitching tonight and batting ninth, Jason Hamill.
Cardinals defensively set up this way. Holiday, Grichuk, and Piscotty left, center, right. Third to first. Carpenter, Diaz, Wong, and Adams. You got here Molina with 8 Gold Gloves as the catching tonight. And the Lexus pursuing starting pitcher is 24-year-old right-hander Michael Wacha, 6'6", 215. Making his 10th start. 2 up, 4 down, 4.03 the earned run average. He's a righty with a really good changeup. So you see those reverse splits. He's actually held left-handers down to a 254 batting average. Righty's hitting 300 against him.
Now your umpires for tonight: Jim Reynolds behind home plate, C.B. Buckner, Fielding Colbert, the crew chief, and Manny Gonzalez first to third. Possible threat of rain, overcast, but we're good to go to start. And as we get going, we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on DirecTV. Here we go. Wacha to Fowler. Ball 1 low.
Wacha, a first-round pick, number 19 overall in 2012 out of Texas A&M. See, fastball cutter to get started. He likes to throw that changeup in fastball counts.
The 2-0 is a strike. Wacha, born in Iowa City, Iowa, but went to high school in Texarkana, Texas, and then on to A&M. 73 degrees and muggy.
I guess if there's a theme for this series, certainly the first couple games, it would be tall right-handers. All these guys, 6'6", 6'7", big lanky righties.
Fowler muscles one out into deep right, and it's going to bang off the padding of the wall. And Fowler's got a double. Benny's Beverage Depot donates $100 to the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository.
As we mentioned in our open, it's been a little bit of a rough go for Wacha. Last 2 times out, he did not pitch beyond the 4th inning. And off to a rough start here as Fowler greets him with a leadoff double.
Some boo birds and some cheers for ex-Cardinal Jason Hayward back in the lineup tonight. Big part of the Cardinals division title team last year. And he squares to bunt and takes the pitch low and inside for ball 1. Yeah, you look at Wacha, I mean, there's a lot of stuff about him just in his stature. Looks like Adam Wainwright. And I think there was a story in spring training one year, Mike Matheny thought Wacha was Wainwright. And you can see why. Fastball high, 2-0.
Yeah, they've had this succession of tall right-handers, you know, Chris Carpenter to Wainwright to Wacha.
On the ground, that's going to get Fowler to third as Wong throws out Hayward.
It's been a few days since Jason has seen live pitching, so productive out there. He's able to get on top of that fastball, hit it sharply to the right side, move Fowler along.
RBI chance for Chris Bryant, and the Cardinals are going to bring the infield in. 3 batters into the game.
They're going to come about halfway here to make Fowler think a little bit, make him read the ball off the bat unless he is going on contact, which he may do.
Yeah, and discussing the double play last night, Dexter had a real good lead, and it was a tricky ball to third. There was no guarantee it was going to be caught. He didn't want to head back to the bag and risk not scoring on that play if it dropped, and I don't think he would have gotten back anyway. So once you're halfway to home, you might as well keep going, and unfortunately it ended up being an inning-ending double play.
Yeah, you just have to read that ball if you're the base runner. Your primary goal there initially is to get a good secondary lead, give yourself a chance to score on a ground ball or a ball in the dirt that gets by the catcher.
It's not your typical line drive at an infielder. There's a base hit, and Fowler, who went back to tag for good measure, will score easily. RBI number 32 for Chris Bryant, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
Well, after a gut punch of a loss last night, good to draw first blood, make a little noise here early, put some pressure on Waka. So 3 good at-bats. Double. Hayward does his job moving Fowler along without really giving himself up. Put a pretty good swing on his ball, and now RBI single for Bryant.
So the Cubs strike first, and now Anthony Rizzo, who is 10 out of 22 with 2 homers in his career against Waka. And high for ball 1. That's on the outside corner.
That was the changeup. Not a particularly good one. Normally you don't want to throw that thing at the top of the zone.
Rizzo 1 for 5 with an RBI last night. He is 2 for his last 30.
He's going to try another changeup here.
And Rizzo way out in front. Season series tied at 2 apiece. Every game so far has been played here in St. Louis. There's a little soft liner into left center. Bryant with a good read. He'll head to third. Chance to get some more here with the Cubs' hottest hitter coming to the plate in Ben Zobrist.
A real nice swing here by Anthony. This is 95 miles an hour down below the knees, and he just slices it out there towards left center.
Zobrist 3 hits and a walk last night. He's got his 35th birthday coming up on Thursday. And even he has had to admit that this is probably the best extended offensive stretch of his career these last few weeks. Ball 1.
Yeah, he's really been locked in. It's reminiscent of some of the great left-handed hitters over the years. And I think about guys like Gwynn and Wade Boggs and some of those guys who are so patient they don't chase. And of course Zobrist is getting it done from both sides of the plate. He's hitting for a high average, both right and left.
1-0 pitch, and he's ahead in the count 2-0.
Yeah, well,
which is not uncommon.
Yeah, he just doesn't. You might as well get after him early because he's not going to expand his zone.
I tweeted out a Fangraphs piece by Enos Saris talking about Zobrist and his patience. He has the lowest swing rate in all of baseball, and right on cue he takes the first 3 pitches in this at bat.
But you would never accuse him of being passive. He just has such a good idea of the strike zone. He's going to swing at strikes.
And ball 4. Yeah, you look at his strike zone swing percentage, and it's been pretty static for much of his career. 57, 59%. But the outside swing rate, outside of the zone, under 16%. And the bases are loaded, and here's Derek Lilliquist.
I read that story as well today, and he talked about how he didn't want to dig too deep into the analytical part of it. He's feeling good. He's seeing the ball well. They got a little break there because the 3-0 curveball did find the strike zone.
A chance to do some major damage here. Remember the game on Sunday. Madison Bumgarner got out of a big first inning jam in a Giants 1-0 win. Good block by Molina. They're all good with a runner at third. Cubs already leading 1-0 and put up a crooked number here.
It's a bit of a scud. The old 55-footer. It's a tough one to contain. A good job by Molina. Walker's got plenty of jump on the fastball here tonight. See him 94, 95.
Three hits and a walk here in this first inning. 1-2.
That's changeup he's thrown in the inning right there.
The 1-2 pitch. Fastball is outside. Sets up a 2-2, and we'll try it again. Cubs have lost a season-high 3 in a row. 2-5 on this 9-game road trip. Still have the best record in baseball and the largest division lead. Full count. 3-2.
Marina trying to catch Bryant walking back to third base. Trying to bail out his pitcher. You still have to protect against the changeup here if you're Soler.
Here it is. Got a fastball that time.
Yeah, and if you're protecting against the changeup, it's tough to get to 96 miles an hour. It's just hard because of his changeup to sell out and sit on a heater.
Pitch number 27 of the inning. Ball 4. He walked in to force in a run. This inning certainly reminds us of the early season offense.
Yes, I was thinking the same exact thing. Quality at bats, taking walks. You know, last night the Cubs had 9 hits. They worked 4 walks. They outplayed the Cardinals in every facet of the game, except for the fact that the Cardinals hit a couple balls over the wall. That was the difference maker. But Lackey was outstanding last night. I thought a pretty good night for the hitters in terms of just the quality of the at bats.
Still loaded. And a curveball. Too high on Russell. Broken bat grounder to first. The throw goes to the plate. And then to third as Molina was trying to get Zobrist.
Zobrist almost got lipped by that one.
Yeah, he did. I think he saw it. So 2 outs. And here's David Ross. So Ross has 499 career hits, 99 career homers, 294 career RBIs. So nearing some milestones.
Well, wouldn't that be special if hit number 500 and was a home run? And
yeah,
in this instance, it would be a grand slam as Tyler Lyons already up here in the first.
Be great if he could knock in 6 with a home run, get to 300 RBIs. This is really hard work for a starter. And it will shorten Waka's night one way or the other. Heavy pitch count, and these are stressful pitches. Here's his 1-2. Hit pretty well to center. Going back on this ball is Grichuk. He can't make the play. Zobrist scores. Soler is in. David Ross with career hit number 500. And it's 4-0.
Grichuk, last night's hero with the walk-off home run, really misplays this ball. He drifts, changes directions, and ultimately cannot pull it in. That ball should have been caught. It was a very nice swing of the bat by David Ross, but I'm sure this is one that Waka thought Grichuk was going to be able to run down. You see how he breaks down, then changes directions.
So the Cubs will send all 9 to the plate. Here's Jason Hamill already leading 4-0. David has been a part-time player. You know, there's been a lot of Twitter conversation about, you know, send Grandpa Ross to the All-Star game, and this is only his 25th game. But you look at his offensive numbers and defensively, he's been really good. That'll drop down. It'll get to the wall. Russell and Ross score. Hamill to second. And, yeah, you better stop, Jason. You still have to pitch. 6-0.
Well, last time here, Jason drove in 2, and that was in a 2-1 win. This time he pads the lead. That was a good swing right off the sweet spot. Past Grichuk into the wall it goes. That's an ambush.
Dexter Fowler lines out to leaping Diaz. Some hard hit balls in the inning, and the Cubs plate 6. Cardinals coming up.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
More lemonade, please.
Vacation's over. Welcome back.
Put the vacation back in summer. Enjoy a medium McCafe lemonade for $2, medium frappe or smoothie for $3, or any size sweet tea or soft drink for just $1 at McDonald's.
Cricket knows the play that'll make you celebrate. Switch to Cricket and get the Samsung Galaxy Amp 2 for $19.99 or the Samsung Galaxy Amp Prime for $49.99. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. And when you visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealer, the official start of something special. That's because we're celebrating Memorial Day weekend with big deals on America's best value. Like the award-winning Honda Accord, just $189 a month or 0.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. But don't wait for big deals on America's best value. Check out ChicagolandHondaDealers.com today.
Cardinals in a deep hole before they even bat their Southwest starting lineup. Carpenter, Diaz, Holiday at the top. Piscotty, Adams, who hit the big game-tying home run last night, and Molina. Grichuk had a top of the first to forget defensively, although he hit the game-winning homer last night. Wong and Waka, 8 and 9.
Cubs defensively. Soler, Fowler, Hayward, left, center, right. Around the horn, Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo, David Ross behind the plate. Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Cubs is the big righty Jason Hamill. He'll work for the 9th time. Suffered his first loss of the year last time out against Milwaukee. At .231 earned run average, good for 6th best in the National League.
Beat the Cardinals here on April 19th, as JD mentioned. Knocked in both Cubs runs in a 2-1 win. And the first pitch to Carpenter is way wide for ball 1. Michael Wacha, by the way, had allowed 2 first-inning runs in his first 9 starts and surrendered 6 here tonight. Pulled foul.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about pitching to the score. You know, you hear, well, team's got a big lead, you got to be aggressive, just throw strikes. That's not the case. You just got to go pitch your game. Got a lot of baseball to play. The Cardinals have 27 outs to work with. In Jason Hamill's mind, this is a 2-0 ball game, not a 6-0 ball game.
Carpenter sends it airborne, deep right, and caught by Hayward.
Now, having said that, there will be situations that come along where he'll be freed up, you know, on a 3-1 count to be aggressive. But you just don't want to start throwing the ball over the heart of the plate.
Diaz 0 for 3 in the opener with a sac fly. 15 doubles, second in the National League, and he's trying to snap an 0 for 11 stretch. It looked like he caught the top of the zone but did not get the call from Jim Reynolds. Popped him up. Rizzo scampers over and will not have a play near the Cardinal dugout.
Jason 3-3 in his career against St. Louis with a high ERA, a little above 5. He's made 8 starts against them, 6 here in this ballpark. A 5.58 earned run average here at Busch. But as we said, really good here back in April.
Left center as Fowler and Soler converge, and it's Dexter Fowler to make the grab for the out. That'll bring up Matt Holliday with 2 outs. Gregory Polanco has hit a 3-run homer in the first for the Pirates off Shelby Miller. So they have an early 3-0 lead over Arizona. Pirates 5 behind the Cubs, 1 ahead of the Cardinals. 2 bouncer to the shortstop, Russell. Inning over. Nice job, Jason Hamill. I think that was a 7-pitch first inning.
Killing him in time of possession.
Welcome to Wrigley Field. Arrieta's cruising along. Swing and a miss. And it is gone. We're tied. Rizzo gets on the top. He makes a catch. Got him. Called strike 3. Jake Arrieta, a 20-game winner. Deep left, way back. It is gone. A 3-run homer. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win.
Just announced from Ford. 0 0% financing for 60 months. And now for a limited time, get an extra $1,000 smart bonus cash on Edge and Explorer. Ford, America's best-selling brand, now with a great offer. 0% financing for 60 months and an extra $1,000 smart bonus cash. Supplies are limited, so hurry while selection is best and see your local Ford dealer today.
Rebecca told Taco Bell she'd fold 1,000 paper swans. Brian said he'd wear 55 pounds of salmon in bear country. And Patrick, he said he'd literally do anything. Fans promised to do lots of things to bring back their favorite burritos.
Oh, I was just kidding!
A promise is a promise, Patrick. Grab the cheesy double beef or the beefy crunch burrito for just $1. Fan favorite burritos. Get them before they're gone.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much does my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You're going to be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Man, the Dodgers need that. After a 17-inning game the day before, Clayton Kershaw went the distance, his third shutout of the season. How about his battery mate, A.J. Ellis? More on him in a second. Jackie Bradley Jr., 27-game hitting streak. And Chris Sale tries for his 10th win. A.J. Ellis catching 26 innings in 2 days. Hayward takes a strike.
Well, that's right. They had the 17-inning game the day before. I didn't realize he caught every inning of that.
He did. I guess Yasmani Grandal fouled the ball off his foot over the weekend. It was a left-hander, Finnegan, pitching for the Reds. And Clayton Kershaw on the mound. So those factors led ultimately to the Dodgers saying A.J. Ellis do it.
1-0 ball game. As you mentioned, Kershaw with his third shutout of the year already.
Hayward strikes out.
He did walk a man, though, did Kershaw.
He did?
Yes. He's now walked 5 this year against 95 strikeouts. It's a 19-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I think the next closest is 8-ish.
That was the first strikeout of the game. And Bryant takes a curve out of the zone. See Walker with that curveball, even the get me over curveballs early, everything up.
Yeah, a lot of the fastball was inconsistent for sure in the first inning as well.
Bryant with a base hit. That'll drop in front of Holiday. He's 2 for 2.
And the challenge for Walker now is to try to stay in this game and eat some innings and preserve the bullpen, as well as give his guys, there's plenty of power in this Cardinal lineup, so to give them a fighting chance to come back. But he missed with the curveball and then just pumped a fastball right over the heart of the plate.
Rizzo with a first inning single. Cardinals overshift toward the right on the infield, and he pops it up into shallow left. Long run out. Diaz, Holiday there. Diaz made the catch. Oh, what a play. Bryant is going to be doubled off. He was already around second. And that will end the inning. And honestly, JD, I don't know if I blame KB. It looked like he had a 1% chance to make this catch.
Well, he read it, Chris did, as he ran toward second base and figured it was going to drop, but what a play by Diaz.
What if you didn't have a car payment this summer? Would you go on a relaxing getaway or an exciting summer adventure? Well, the Summers on Us sales event from Kia is back with 0 payments due for 5 months, including your first 2 months on us. Plus, get 0% financing on the one-of-a-kind Soul, the high-tech Forte hatchback and sedan, or the stylish Optima and Optima Hybrid. And spend your savings having more summer fun. Hurry into your Kia dealer today for the Summers on Us sales event.
We are here at Benny's Beverage Depot. And Joe, let's talk about some of the humorous things in baseball. Not that it's humorous to have arguments between managers and umpires, but I remember there was a game last year where you said you were arguing with an umpire, and he said something like, I may be bad, but at least I'm honest. You almost busted out laughing.
I did. I mean, I have to leave at that point. He says, I might be bad, but I'm not doing it on purpose, something to that effect. I thought that was great.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Hangry Hacks.
Sales team.
Your other boyfriend.
No. Guys. Have you seen the third quarter numbers? Because I have. They're phenomenal. Sales meeting in Cabo next month.
Hack your Hangry with Jack Links, the protein-packed way to feed your wild side.
Man, this is awesome. Look.
Before taking his team to state for the first time, Coach Gilman helped his players keep their eye on the ball.
Ready to crush, here we go.
Their head in the game and their feet on the ground. And along the way, gave them a season to remember.
Just a little token. I'm so proud of you.
Share your favorite baseball memories all season long using hashtag MLB Memory Bank.
Time for our Xfinity high-speed action. From our position, JD, it just didn't look like anybody had a shot at this ball.
No, and Aledmys Diaz has made more errors than a shortstop in baseball this year. He's committed 10 of them. I'm guessing none of them have been on pop-ups because that was just a spectacular play.
So Hamill, who only threw 7 pitches in the first inning, back to work, 1-0 on Stephen Piscotty.
And I was watching Chris run on that play, and he did the right thing. He was watching the play develop. He kind of took his time approaching second base, and then he made the read. This ball is going to get down, and I'm sure he was thinking he was going to get to third base when it did get down. But spectacular play.
Here's a 2-0 offering from Hamill, and it's a strike. Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Cubs trying to set up a rubber match tomorrow afternoon. Piscotty rolls to the shortstop, Russell.
Cub fans, you don't have to wait until summer to enjoy your Fridays. Kick off the weekends with your favorite team. Tickets are still available for hot Friday matchups, including this Friday with the Philadelphia Phillies and June 3rd versus the Diamondbacks. Get your tickets at Cubs.com.
Hey, we want to send out happy 11th birthday wishes to Kyle O'Neill, watching back home tonight. Kyle's dad, Mark O'Neill, the Cubs director of medical administration. 1-0 on Matt Adams. He hit a pinch hit 2-run homer last night in the 7th off John Lackey to tie the game. The Cardinals' 9th pinch home run. And he drives this one out in the left center, and it's going to split the gap and bounce out of play for a double.
That big fella's been swinging it lately. Really been wearing out right-handed pitching. 9 pinch hit home runs for the Cardinals, by far the best in Major League Baseball. The 5 off the all-time record. We're not even until the end of May. That's 9 home runs in 75 at bats in the pinch. That's like 1 every 8.3 at bats.
It's ridiculous. And by definition, it's the first at bat of the night for that hitter.
Yeah.
Late in a game.
Yeah, and a lot of times it gets
mostly.
Guys throwing 98 miles an hour, right? If not all pinch hit at bats come in that situation, but some of them have.
Molina has been an all-star 7 consecutive seasons, won 8 straight Gold Gloves. Was not particularly effective in the playoffs last year because he came back from a torn left thumb ligament Missed the final 13 games of the regular season. He actually didn't play in Game 4 of the division series when the Cubs eliminated St. Louis. 3-0.
Hitting for average but not power so far this year. He's never been a big power hitter. His first home run of the year over the weekend.
Takes that for a strike.
7 hits in 15 tries against Jason.
Hamels 3-1, cut and a miss. A 6-run first inning for the visitors. And a 3-2 to Molina. And he fouls at the plate. Jake Arrieta will go tomorrow against Carlos Martinez. Cubs rotation is the best ERA in baseball by a half a run ahead of the Nationals. Cubs are at 254, the Nats at 305, and then everybody else behind them. They're almost a full run better than 28 teams in Major League Baseball.
It's been impressive, and that's the thing. Even during this tough stretch, they've continued to pitch very well. A couple, John Lester had one get away in San Francisco the other day, but by and large, they continue to go out there and put up very good numbers.
Another 3-2, and he walked him. We mentioned tomorrow's pitching matchup and the Cubs' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Travel Wisconsin. Plan your fun today at travelwisconsin.com. Be some good stuff out there with Arrieta and Martinez.
Hitters on both sides better get their rest tonight.
Grichuk with his first career game-ending home run last night off Adam Warren. It was a slider, and he hit it out to right.
Yeah, it was and Adam was really sharp last night, except for that one pitch, a hanging slider out over the plate, and Grichuk showed tremendous power driving that ball into the home bullpen out there in right center. This is a long way to go the opposite way. The thing that impressed me too is Grichuk knew it right about here. I mean, he knew he really laid into that one.
Fouled back, had a tough first inning. And a couple of doubles, Ross and Hamill. But he had the home run saving catch in April to rob Anthony Rizzo of a home run. This game will humble you very quickly.
And the Hamill ball, I think he was just surprised. He was shallow and just didn't have time to get over there and cut it off.
Bounce to third. Bryant will step on the bag and fire to first. A 5-3 double play. Grichuk would like to start this game over, but you can't do that. 6-0 Cubs.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. attorney Howard Ankin with legendary sportscaster Steve Stone.
And I know the right team knows how to win, like Howard Ankin Law Office.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, I'm here to help. Please give me a call.
Put Howard's number in your phone right now, 312-6-million.
Real meal for $5. 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 Finger licking, finger licking, finger licking.
Friday, Cubs baseball is on CSN Chicago as Anthony Rizzo and company return to Wrigley to face Ryan Howard and the Philadelphia Phillies. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto on CSN.
Any questions?
Yo, elbow patches. Why you gotta complicate things? Uncle Richie's math is simple. Dodge Durango RT has heavy V8 power, generating 360 horses for the driver, 2 Blu-ray screens for the kids. And Dodge Journey's 8.4-inch touchscreen, biggest in its class.
Class dismissed. Get you some of that.
Get $3,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash or 0% APR for 60 months on the 2016 Dodge Grand Caravan.
What famous American has covered more territory than any other? Hint, it's not a person. One drive and you'll discover why Jeep is the most awarded best-selling SUV brand. Celebrate 75 years of endless adventure today at the Jeep Memorial Day sales event and get $500 bonus cash on 2016 Jeep Cherokee vehicles. Get 0% APR for 75 months or $2,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash on 2016 Cherokee models.
To St. Louis with your Coors Light game report. Ben Zobrist leading things off, and there is nobody in the house tonight rooting for him more than the guy that was kind enough to join me right now, Noah, his younger brother. He has a couple, but you're the one that taught him everything he knows, right?
That's right, yeah.
This has got to be pretty cool for you, Noah, to I know you guys grew up Cardinals fans. I have to say, half of his party tonight still in Redbird jerseys, but not you.
That's right.
It was easy to change, keep the name the same on the back and just be a Cardinal or a Cub fan, right? For
That's
Ben?
right, yeah. It's really easy when it's your blood. It's easy to kind of just change things. We've been following him specifically and all the teams that he's gone to, so it's an easy change. I still have a soft spot in my heart for the Cardinals, but I am a Cubs fan for Ben, so.
This is going back to the Chicago people, so they don't really care.
I know they don't, but.
Well, you're watching Ben right now. You see him bring home a World Series championship just a year ago. And then to see what he's doing right now in this month, is it incredible or what?
It's crazy. You know, I've seen him work so hard over the last 15, 20 years that he's been doing this, all of his life, really. He's always been a hard worker. He just made a hard out right there. But
keeping an eye on him.
Tough one, I am. He's always been a hard worker, but it's awesome to see the fruits of his labor that he's been doing here to get a World Series championship, then to be with the Cubs now, who have a strong shot for that this year. This could be the year, and he's doing so well right now, so it's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight. I know It's been a pleasure to have Ben join the team. He's always seemed to be humble, and he certainly is in that clubhouse.
That's right. Well, it's wonderful to be with you, so.
Thanks a lot, Noah. Guys.
Kelly, thanks. And thanks to Noah. His brother hit another bullet, but this time right at the shortstop. Quality at bats, that's his calling card. 2-0 to Soler, and a strike. He took a bases loaded walk in the first.
Coming into this game, Ben Zobrist, when leading off an inning, had a .512 on base percentage. Wow. #1 in Major League Baseball.
Walker's 2-2 off the inside corner. Ball 4.
On Memorial Day, May 30th, the Cubs play the Dodgers. First pitch is at 4:05. Make a note of that. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Ryne Sandberg retired number flag presented by Pepsi. For more information, And to check on ticket availability, visit Cubs.com.
And note the start time just after 4 o'clock on Memorial Day to start a 4-game series against the Dodgers. Borderline strike on Addison Russell. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first and later scored. And this will get out of play down the right field line. Russell takes a called third.
Second strikeout for Walker. He got Hayward swinging last inning, and that time inside corner changeup to get Russell.
Hey, Jackie Bradley Jr. now has a 28-game hitting streak. He's got a half of DiMaggio. Can he do it 28 more?
Why not?
So I was talking about David Ross when he was up earlier. He probably hasn't played enough to really garner serious all-star consideration. And I know I haven't asked him. I don't think he would want to go to the All-Star game as some sort of
he said that in
sympathy candidate.
The paper,
but if he were playing a little bit more, what he's doing just defensively alone has been all-star quality.
Yeah, he's third in baseball in catcher kills. Ever see that on Baseball Reference? They have a category called catcher
Is that just
kills.
throwing somebody out?
It's caught stealing, pickoffs, outs on the bases by a catcher. Leads Major League Baseball with 4 picks. No other catcher has more than one.
But he
doesn't want to be, and I don't think David Story is outside of Chicago is getting the kind of attention that that is locally. But he's very popular around the game with fellow players and managers and coaches. So you could see where there might be some groundswell from that community.
Right.
He has said, I know I saw it in the newspaper a while back, he was quoted as saying that he doesn't want any kind of a undeserved recognition.
3-2. Soler runs with 2 outs, and the ball is sent in the air to right. And Piscotty over in the little nook or cranny. I'm not sure which one. Have we decided? That's probably more of a nook over there.
I think I saw a couple crannies sitting out there in the nook.
And ball 4. So that will get the pitcher to the plate with 2 outs. High for ball 1. Cubs have gotten 4 RBIs from their 8 and 9 hitters on back-to-back 2-run doubles, Ross and Hamill, in the first inning. Curve strike.
What's a 300 hitter standing right there in the batter's box right now?
Going into the game, Cubs pitchers had the second best OPS in the National League and the third most RBIs. By the way, who are the all-star catchers in the National League?
Lucroy is doing pretty good.
Yachty?
Yachty seems to be
Cervelli? It's 3 right there.
Wellington Castillo's putting up very good numbers.
Yeah, so they're Buster Posey.
Posey.
We got like 8 all-star catchers already. 6-0 Cubs in the third.
What's the key to business success? Stay on your toes and keep moving. Whether you're launching a new product or fighting off hackers, business has to be ready for anything. And your IT needs to support it. Forsyth Technology, together with leading partners like Cisco and Red Hat, and technology supported by Intel, will help you get ready and stay ready by leveraging the power of the cloud without compromising security and control, giving your business a lasting competitive advantage.
The power of NBC5 Investigates now makes a bigger impact for you. NBC5 responds.
If you have a consumer complaint, we want to hear it. I'm Lisa Parker.
Our team is ready to help you.
No phone call, email, or question unanswered. NBC5 responds.
Researching your concerns, recovering your money, and resolving your consumer complaints. Call us at 844-NBC-RESPONDS or email NBC5responds@NBCUNI.com.
Our first kid. It's time for a new car.
A new safe car.
Exactly.
Well, the Camry's really safe. 10 airbags. You could even get one with a blind spot monitor.
I don't know if we need all that.
That's okay. It's good to have safe things.
Maybe we should get it.
Yeah, you never know.
Hurry, it's the final days to lease a new 2016 Camry with zero due at signing, zero deposit, zero down, and zero first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on Camry.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Toyota, let's go places.
All the other guys are talking about these days is how good their coverage is. But only one network is giving you more than just great coverage. T-Mobile. Only T-Mobile lets you stream video and music for free. Not only that, but we've doubled our LTE coverage in the last year. That's right. Our coverage now stacks up with anybody, including Verizon and AT&T. So now you can get rid of the other guys and get great coverage from T-Mobile. We got you covered, and we won't stop.
Thursday night, join CSN's Luke Stuckmeyer and Kelly Kroll for taping of Beer Money at 5 p.m. at Timothy O'Toole's in Gurnee. Come out for the fun, test your sports knowledge, and you could win big. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light. Cub fans having fun tonight. Their team has a big lead early, 6-0. Jason Hamill has already batted twice. Wong and Waka haven't even batted once. And Cardinals second baseman fouls it out of play. Happy 48th birthday, Angela Brooks. Lifelong Cub fan.
She shares a birthday with Bartolo Colon. And Bob Dylan, for that matter.
One and one. Pitchers on deck as Hamill fires, and that's golfed in the air out into shallow right center, and it's Hayward.
Waka, waka.
Good stuff.
That was the anniversary of Pac-Man yesterday.
Yeah. Ball one. One career extra base hit. That was a double last year for Michael Wacha. Just fun to say Wacha.
Guacamole.
He should sponsor a chip dip, call it guacamole.
I think you should go down and suggest that to him after the game tonight.
I think he'll be in the mood. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Called strike three. That's Hamill's first of the night.
Cubs need your help to get to the All-Star game this July. It's taking place in San Diego. Vote early, vote often, vote now at Cubs.com/vote. You can vote up to 5 times a day and up to 35 times total. I'm assuming they still distribute the paper ballots at the ballparks, or no?
You know, I don't know the answer to that question.
As a kid, I always enjoyed doing that, like getting the ballot, sitting there in my seat.
Have a hanging Chad.
Yeah.
I think it's all online these days.
When I voted, and I'm not going, I don't want to influence anybody's vote. I was a purist. I didn't vote for my favorite guys. I voted for who I thought were the most deserving.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was kind of hung up, either or,
you take your guy.
I went for my guy for sure. If there was a way I was going to get Coco LeBoy to the All-Star game, by golly, I was going to go for it.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and that's it for the Cardinals in the third. 6-0 Cubs.
This year, my family didn't want to fight the crowds, so we went to Blue Harbor Resort. There was a huge indoor water park, plus there was the beach. Dad took us staying on this cool boat, and we even had a bonfire. This is the best vacation ever.
Your insurance company won't replace the full value of your totaled new car. The guy says, you picked the wrong insurance plan. No, I picked the wrong insurance company.
With new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car, plus depreciation. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Honda knows, in today's hectic world, it's good to leave everything behind. But when it comes to your car, you want to get everything you can. It's why we put a multi-angle rear view camera, text message reader, and dual zone climate control standard in every 2016 Accord, with a redesigned body to match. Nothing compares to a Honda. The restyled Accord, the best-selling car in America.
Meet the product development experts at Turtle Wax. They created the 2016 Product of the Year Dashing Glass, as voted by consumers. And that same forward thinking led to Max Power Car Wash. It's the only car wash where the more you add, the stronger it cleans. Use this much to tackle dirt and grime, this much for bugs, salt, and mud, and this much for the toughest stains like brake dust and tree sap. Is there anything this wash can't clean? Turtle Wax. Trusted innovation inside and out.
Hey, Chicago. Beer Money is on the move, and you can be part of all the fun. Join us for our next taping this Thursday night at 5 p.m. at Timothy O'Toole's in Gurnee. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light. Saturday night is soccer night as the men in red return to the pitch for an East-West match with Portland. Fire versus Timbers. Major League Soccer beginning at 7 on CSN. Spanish language broadcast available on CSN+.
Friday afternoon, the Cubs return home, open up a weekend set against the surprising Philadelphia Phillies. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto on CSN Chicago.
Did you see Pete McCannon yanked Odubel Herrera last night after he did not run out a ground ball? Not that a manager in his, quote, lame duck season wouldn't do that, but Pete signed through next year, I think, right? That gives you a little more gravitas in that.
Well, yeah, and they're playing winning baseball. They're trying to create a culture there. They've gotten rid of a bunch of veteran guys, and you know, they were not expected to be really good. They're winning a lot of one-run games, so in all likelihood they won't be able to sustain this. It probably won't be in the hunt in the second half, but you do not know. So, but it's a thing when you've got a young club, you've got a chance to establish a culture of how the game should be played. You don't want to let that opportunity slip by, and apparently Herrera is a repeat offender. You know, it's not like a one-time thing.
3-1. Fowler had a good hack at a cutter and fouled it back. 3-2. Chance for the Cubs to grab their 30th win of this season. It would be the first team to 30. And if they can get it, called strike 3 to get Dexter. Change up. I was chatting with the radio guys off the air before the game. We're talking about the idea of the automated strike zone. Okay. So if the technology exists, and it does, to take the home plate umpire out of the mix, I asked this question. If you polled all 30 major league managers, what do you think they would say? To have the automated strike zone versus
I would
home plate
guess
umpire.
Most of them would be good with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it would have to be an anonymous vote, because guys wouldn't want to go on the record or saying
that. Right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite there yet, and some people are. I think there'd have to be a lot of questions answered. For instance, Jorge Soler's strike zone and Jose Altuve's shouldn't be the same.
But that's with all this technology that we use for this. They're supposed to be able to triangulate it so they shoot it at the guy's knees.
What about the art of pitch framing? That won't exist anymore, right? Because it won't matter where you catch it.
And that's okay too. I mean, it doesn't bother me to have humans back there calling balls and strikes.
One-two is outside. Let me ask you this: 10 years from now, what's your best guess? Will we have? Are you convinced that that's where we're headed?
No, I'm not convinced of that.
You're not? Okay. Adams can't handle it, and Hayward is aboard.
How are we going to score this one? Probably an E3.
I think I would say error.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Not an easy play, but a play he should have made.
It is an error.
The 40th error for the Cardinals, most in baseball.
Can't get rid of the great strike 3 calls. That is part of the fun of the game, right? What would Frank Drebin do?
Well, we could.
You don't want something.
Have the technology call the pitch, and then the umpire could actually make the signal.
Oh man, that would be.
He would just have a little electric shock in his back pocket and buzz him every time it's a strike. And strike 3 gets a little extra prod. That way he'd really get emphatic with his strike 3 call.
One and one. And even if you did have an automated zone, you'd still need a home plate umpire, right?
Sure, yeah. You'd have to make calls at the plate, put new balls into play. Obstruction calls, things of that nature. It'd still be a busy job for the umpire.
Well, I suppose the home plate umpire could still actually call them balls or strikes, but would have some sort of device maybe that would assist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's talking about the buzzer in the back pocket. And the umpire could actually, he could stand and get into a position where he would not be vulnerable to any foul balls. Any balls being hit back off his mask.
Two on Bryant. Hayward takes off for second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jason will get a stolen base. That's the second out of the inning. Cubs are celebrating Bud Fridays in the Budweiser bleachers all season long. This Friday, May 27th, Budweiser will provide 90s visors. 90s visors to the first 5,000 early arriving fans, 21 and older. In the Budweiser bleachers, non-bleacher tickets are still available. Go to Cubs.com/Fridays to buy yours today.
The 90s were known as a real visor era.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why do I not remember that?
I remember as a kid, guys would wear those like bank visors with the sunshade, that kind of green plasticky thing going on.
Swing and a miss on the changeup.
Well, if this were match play, Walker would only be down 1 hole. Unfortunately for him, that's not the case. 3 changeups in a row to Rizzo.
The thing I like about the automated strike zone conversation, whether it ever happens or not, is that every baseball fan has a very strong opinion about it. It's kind of a good conversation starter. Bounce to first. Adams will get another chance, and this time it goes 3-1 to end the inning. 6-0 Cubs in the 4th.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Lease the 2016 NX 200 Turbo for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Pizza is perfect. Pizza with bacon cheeseburger on it, way more perfect.
Papa's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza is back. And try our new Mushroom Swiss Burger Pizza. Just $10 each for a large.
PapaJohns.com.
They say an old-fashioned is served in a 10-ounce glass with a maraschino cherry and an orange slice. Actually, it's served in a room with a brick fireplace and a deer head mounted on the wall by a waitress named Diane. This is a Wisconsin supper club. When you're having fun, we're having fun.
Closed captioning of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by U.S. Waterproofing.
A little seepage in your basement is no need to panic. Count on the experts at U.S. Waterproofing to diagnose and repair the problem. For a free consultation, call 888-SEEPAGE or visit seepage.com.
Follow In-Game Live on CSNChicago.com, presented by State Farm. Jason Hamill here in the fourth has a 6-0 lead. Cubs have made Michael Wacha throw 90 pitches through 4.
They jumped him early. Jason Hamill's been really sharp. He's allowed just 1 base hit to this point. 2 base runners, a double, then a walk to Molina in the second inning. Adams had the double, Molina the walk.
Diaz pops it up. Russell will give way as Soler makes the catch.
Coming into this game, opposing batters were hitting only .228 against Jason. Lefties .271, which is right at his career average for left-handed hitters. The big difference is he's really shackled right-handed bats. They were hitting just .196 against him.
Matt Holliday, 1 for 5 to start the series. Right down the middle.
So what are they saying out there in the Twitterverse on our discussion about electronic umpires?
I think more than not have said they're not interested in it. They like the human aspect of it, the interaction and all that stuff. And I'm not on board with it just yet. I'd have to think more about it.
Yeah, I'm neutral. I mean, this is fine the way it is. This is the way we've done it for a long time now.
I feel like the umpires themselves don't have a lot of vocal support out there, and that's the other part of it. Not that guys are going to lose their jobs per se, but I'd have to believe that for the guys at this level, being the home plate umpire, that's the right. That's the job most
the most important job every night, right? But at the same time, it's the hardest job. That would be interesting to talk to umpires without them going on the record, just to get a sense of, what do you think if we use, I think they're going to argue, look, man, if you look at the technology, we're right a high percentage of the time.
Fowler is back, and he makes the catch. Well, I'll be the advocate for the umpires. I mean, I think they're great, and I think the only time we talk about them is when they miss a call. But with replay, it's pretty remarkable how often they're right.
Well, and that's the other piece of it, right? So we've introduced replay, so we're using technology to try to get as many calls right in the field. So by extension, doesn't it make sense then to use technology to get as many ball strike calls right at home plate?
Yes, philosophically, I agree with you. Yep. I think most people now inside a clubhouse, whether it's a pitching coach, hitting coach, manager, players, pitchers, whatever, they all complain about the strike zone on both sides because it's still the one area that is not subject to replay and is a pretty subjective thing.
And from night to night, it varies based on who's back there and whether he's having a good night or not.
Then if we went to an automated zone, you might hear the computer was off tonight. Computer had a bad night.
I was getting squeezed by the computer, man.
2-2. Swing and a miss. And the inning is over. Hamill cruising along with a big lead.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids. Breathe.
Fill a bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
They treat you like you're their best friend or your family. It's almost like they can't do enough for you.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
I get a personal treatment here, and I recommend it.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I'm looking for the best price, and Fields gives you that. That's why we've bought so many cars from them.
Fields matters because you matter.
FieldsAuto.com. Drive and discover during 1 week to Jeep at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $279 a month. Both with zero due. Or save $7,000 on this new Grand Cherokee. Find it at Feeney, FeeneyAutos.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Join the Cubs season ticket holder waiting list. Do it today. Claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. It's easy. It's free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Strike one to Zobrist.
I mentioned last time up that when he's leading off an inning, he has a .512 on base percentage. Best in MLB.
Another one hit on the button. This one will drop. Piscotty will chase it down. Zobrist on his way to second. Two hard hit balls. He's reached twice tonight, and now what, 6 times in the series already.
And family and friends on hand. Noah, he's probably geeked up watching him swing the bat here. Scotty with a little blowout. No further advancement for Zobrist. He'll settle in for a leadoff double.
And he extends his hit streak to 11.
Here's the other good Zobrist factoid. Second time he sees a pitcher in a game. Now this was his third time, but second time he sees a pitcher in a game, he also has a .512 on base percentage. Also the best in Major League Baseball.
Familiarity suits him well. Look out, Soler. Tyler Lyons up in the Cardinal pen, a lefty. High drive to center. Grichuk is back to the wall. It's gone. A 2-run homer for Jorge Soler. 8-zip Cubs.
Boy, what a night he has had. 2 walks, 2 very good at bats, working those walks, and a towering home run to straightaway center field. Trying to go down and away with a heater, and it's outer third, but about thigh high.
That will be it for Michael Wacha. We'll have a Weber's Sauces and Seasonings call to the pen. All Cubs tonight.
The intelligent all-new Audi A4 is here. Experience the all-new Audi A4 at your local dealer.
And the #1 window and door company in America is...
Feldco.
To celebrate this amazing achievement, Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
On behalf of the entire Feldco team, thank you. And remember, 2 windows for the price of 1 ends Monday. So hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
This is how you'll look when you shop at DXL. But this is how you'll feel. All the brands you love, waist size 38 and up. DXL, you're looking good. This is how you'll look when you shop at DXL. But this is how you'll feel. All the brands you love, waist size 38 and up. DXL, you're looking good. Right now, Harbor Bay cargo shorts are just $39.99 each when you buy 2 or more.
It's a Weber's Sauces and Seasonings call to the pen. Call grilling flavor up to the bigs. Here's Southpaw Tyler Lyons.
One of 3 left-handers in the Cardinal bullpen. He works for the 14th time. A 4.35 ERA for Lyons. Good strikeout to walk numbers. Home runs have been a bit of an issue for him. 6 long ones allowed in 20 2/3 innings of work.
It's been a rough stretch for Waka. 3rd consecutive start. He's gone just 4 innings. He's allowed 8 hits in each of those starts. He's allowed at least 6 runs in all 3, although 4 were unearned at Dodger Stadium 2 starts ago. So still nobody out after the Soler blast, and Russell takes a strike.
And Waka, as we mentioned in the open, an all-star last year. He's got very good credentials.
Line drive left field. Holiday can't make the play. He had it in his glove. Went down to the slide and could not hang on. Probably will be a single for Russell because he left his feet. And he never really had it. And it is a single.
Yeah, it's a single, but certainly should have been caught. It's the 3rd misplay, at least by the Cardinals here tonight. There's been 1 error charge.
Are you saying the Cardinals outfield defense has gone on holiday?
Yes, that's exactly what we're charging here. But in defense of the Cardinals in the field, it's tough to play on a night like tonight. A lot of dead time out there.
And the Cubs have been hitting rockets all over the place. Outside, 1-1 to Ross. At the point now where Adams not even holding on the run.